And also because everybody is kind of looking elsewhere at the holidays and elections and what's going to happen, they're not focusing in. I think it's a great time to jump in. If you're ready, this is a good time to do that.
Yeah. Hey, good morning. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. As always, it's really great to see you. We're up here at the Bears Den Hostel this morning. My goodness, it's a bit chilly. Of course, this is right here at the famous Bears Den Rock, right outside of Bluemont, Virginia.
Yes. So if you want to know what's happening in real estate, this is the video for you. We're going to cover the numbers. We're also going to talk about the CPI report that came out and also the Federal Reserve numbers, and even squeeze in a little bit about the mortgage interest rates for you.
Yeah, maybe a couple of opinions as well, right? Well, it was a busy week. This morning, the CPI, that's a Consumer Price Index report, was released. And while it came up a little bit from last month's number, it's still headed in that not completely the complete right direction, but it blipped up just a little bit to 2.6. Last month, of course, it came in at 2.4. A lot of pundits this morning talking about, are we headed back to high inflation? I don't think anybody really believes that. A lot of the programs that have been put in place are working. As I said, don't judge this direction just by one market's report. So I think that was good. And then, of course, last Thursday, the Federal Reserve had a big announcement.
That's right. And they dropped it 0.25% for the federal funds rate, which is, again, good news. However, mortgage interest rates just haven't done what anybody wants it to do, which is to go down. But now we're realizing there are a lot more factors involved in this mortgage interest rate. And this time of year, we're calling it confirmed uncertainty for sure. There's a lot, but we'll discuss that later.
Well, let's go ahead and start with the market statistics. And of course, these would be the numbers through the month of October. And by the end of October, the median sold price was $660,000.
And that is down 2.2% from last month and up 6.5%. Healthy jump from last year.
Yes, it is quite a jump. The number of homes sold in the month of October was 2,387.
And this is down 11.6% from last month and up 14.9% from last year.
Yowzer. The number of days on the market, and of course, this is from the time that a property goes active in the market until the time it goes under contract. The average days in October was 21 days.
Yep, and this is up 1 day from the previous month and up 4 days from the previous year.
And then last but not least, the number of homes for sale at the end of October was 3,018.
That's down 5% from last month and up 7% from last year. So you could definitely start seeing a change in this market.
Yeah, you can. And while a lot of the numbers, of course, the difference between the September numbers and October numbers were down, interestingly enough, if you look at year-to-year numbers, which, Denise and I will we'll support both of these, but I'm more the guy that looks at it like year over year. All those numbers were up. So I think we're kind of trending in a point that, we're seeing optimism in the marketplace. Certainly 12 months has changed the market in so many different ways. But, we got into a discussion yesterday with regard to where the market is headed. And, if you look at the October numbers, and they're all down a little bit, but the days on market went up a little bit, you start to think, okay, October traditionally is one of those rebound months where the market starts to get stronger. So when you start to see a market start to trend down a little bit, like especially from a September to an October number, you kind of wonder, Denise, has this market kind of reached its peak at this point?
And that's why I think we agreed on confirmed uncertainty and what is to come. Because a lot is going on, I think we have to understand right now. So in addition to fighting the Federal Reserve funds rate, we also just came off of election season. And I think because of that, people were putting a pause on any type of activity during that time. Also, you have to consider the season as well. We're getting into the holidays as well. So they're like, okay, after elections, then it's planning for Christmas. So is this a real time for all of these activities to take place? Again, I think the biggest factor was the mortgage interest rates. It's just everybody was hoping it would go down, and it really, instead of going down, it actually went up.
Yeah.
And I think that's when people were like, whoa, let me just put a pause and see what's going to happen. So
Yeah, I think the market depends so much on optimism, right? I know certainly politics has a lot to do with it. Certainly the Federal Reserve and their announcements has a lot to do with it. But I think the market really depends on the optimism of the buyers, especially the buyers with what we're going through right now. They don't have a lot to choose from. Certainly the affordability index has changed a lot for them. So the optimism of the buyers really is kind of driving this marketplace. And I think with that, cautious optimism, depending on which side of the equation you're on through the election, I think you're starting to see the economy the stock market went crazy
yes,
at the end of last week. It
yes,
dipped a little bit yesterday.
yes.
So I think we're headed still into some good times, but we have certainly this holiday season that we're coming into. We have the election that's just ended. There's a lot of kind of maybe just wait and see here. So we'll continue to follow it and report back.
And because we always look for that silver lining, we're telling all our clients, listen, if you're in the market, this is a good time to get in. If you're a buyer, you can negotiate a lot more, I believe. And also because everybody is kind of looking elsewhere at the holidays and elections and what's going to happen, they're not focusing in. I think it's a great time to jump in. If you're ready, this is a good time to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as always, we really hope the information that we bring to you each week is valuable. We thank you, as always, for tuning in, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.